So this is the full process of me turning my back patio from looking like this to looking like this. I did it in my free time over the course of probably a month when I wasn't working and building fences and decks for other people. I was working on this pretty much completely by myself. So this is how my patio looked ever since I first bought the place and moved in. Just a huge eyesore really exposed to our alley. There's this water catcher tank that collected rainwater that the guy who lived in the house before me was using to irrigate his garden. But there was just hoses and PVC pipe everywhere because the garden was in front of the house and this is behind the house. So I just kind of took all that out because it was pretty invasive on the space. So I just drained it out into the alley while I deconstructed everything. So obviously I started just by removing pretty much everything on the patio, all this spare wood, this tank, just everything, and just trying to get like a really blank canvas. Here I am tearing down this old pergola. The posts were carpenter bee damaged, and the inspector, when I bought the house, was really concerned about the structure, saying that it needed to come down. So it was on my to-do list. So the very first thing I did was pour new concrete with this really weird, sketchy guy I met in the alley while I was working on it. He told me he had some concrete experience and wanted to help out for some cash, and we did okay. Like, doing it myself, this guy saved me about $3,000, so I'm fine with how it turned out just because of how much money I saved. But I wish it was a little cleaner work. But like I said, I was just doing this in my spare time by myself and kind of on a budget. So that's why you see here I'm like setting these posts on post bases on the concrete and creating jigs to like hang the beam by myself. I guess I didn't get much footage of me hanging these joists, probably because I was like listening to music or something. Side note is this was the summer of 2022 and I'm editing this video in winter 2024, so it's been about a year and a half, 2 years since this project. So this is how the bare bones was looking, just with the cedar horizontal privacy fence on these pressure treated posts that are anchored to the concrete with this new cover over it. I don't know if you can tell, but there's a clear corrugated plastic roof over the wood on the cover just to keep the rain out, obviously. So the eventual goal was to put a stock tank pool, which you'll see here in a second, and be able to use it while it's raining, but still be able to soak up the sun, you know? So obviously I just threw all my trash out in the side yard where I park. That was a whole other situation, cleaning all that up. But I was pretty excited of how it was turning out. This is where I had the city come out and inspect it. I had them inspect it and clear the permit before I started building the pool and whatnot for obvious reasons. So this is my wife being super hot in all senses of the terms, trying to clear off or cool off in our new patio before the pool. So like I said, the concrete work wasn't the greatest, and for like water runoff, there was a bit of a slope on the concrete. So I didn't want the pool to be at a slope, obviously. So I built this pallet situation to put the pool on with some 4x4s and then whatever 2x material I had laying around. Eventually I'll probably make this a full deck because you could definitely feel the empty spaces in the pool because it's just like a thin layer of galvanized steel or whatever the material is. So I got the pool on the pallet and I used the same posts as the fence for the backing of the deck that I'm building around the pool. So I just anchored the ledger board situation to the existing posts that were already anchored to the concrete and used for the fence, and just framed around the pool. as square as I could and then filled in the dead space. And you'll see how I create the curve here after I put the deck boards on. So the deck, my brother and I own a fence and deck construction company, so we have a lot of like this pressure treated material laying around. So the deck was kind of made out of just like spare wood we had laying around. So that's why I used 2x6s for everything. And some of the decking, I had like a 2x10 on there or something. I was just kind of trying to use what I had without spending too much more money than I had to. So after the frame was all framed up, I just covered everything and left it overhanging on all the parts on the outside and on the inside around the pool where I was going to cut the curve with a jigsaw. And you'll see how I did that. I pretty much just put the blade on the inside of the pool and just cut around it. And it turned out pretty well. It's a pretty cool shot before it's all cut. I was really proud of this. So cutting all that took like 45 minutes, and this video is fastened up to about 30 seconds. So I really took my time to do the best I actually could. And then using a bunch of spare material, we just had these like stringers hanging around for some reason, and I wasn't really sure how I wanted the flow of like the stairs to go. So these were just kind of like a temporary solution because I was building this in like August or September, so I was just in a hurry to get it done, just to get some use out of it before it got too cold. Since then, I have removed these stairs just because they were kind of big and in the way and didn't really need them to get into the pool or onto the deck or anything. But I had the footage, and it's in all this stock footage I'm using. So like I said, this was all from about a year and a half ago. Right now it's January 2024. So I'm just editing old footage that I have in my iCloud account. So now you can see how well the cover actually is working, because sanding the deck down and doing all these finishing touches while it's pouring outside, and I am staying dry. So mission accomplished there. You can see the deck is wet kind of at the end. There was some wind blowing through the area where the fence and the pergola are open. Since then, I have actually closed that up with more pickets. I'll probably make like an updated video when the weather turns in 2024, just so you can see how it's progressed in the past, I guess, at like 2 years at that point it'll be. And then I painted the inside and the outside. I just used like a Rust-Oleum metal paint for the outside. And then online I found an epoxy pool paint. It was like a 2-part with a primer and a finishing white that I painted on the inside just to kind of seal it all up. And then that's a logo that I had my friend Haley make for the brand of stock tank pools I was thinking about going for, calling them cocktail pools. And this is pretty much how it was ending up. The only thing I did from here was I added like a shower basin and some backing behind the outdoor shower, which I'll show you here in a second. Overall, I'm really, really proud and excited about the final outcome of this project. Building a shower basin, I guess you want to call it. An outdoor shower. So I really just framed it up with cedar and filled in the sides with rocks just to kind of give it some kind of spa vibes, if you will. In the description, I'll have everything you need to make a stock tank yourself. It's pretty self-explanatory. I might make like a PDF. And here we go. And this is my beautiful wife chilling in her completed backyard renovation. I love how private it is back here. It's perfect for the two of us and a few friends coming over. The plants really make it. We didn't have as many plants the following summer, and it just felt different. So I'm going to make sure to load it up this summer with plants. Within my fence and deck company, we were going to offer this as a service and call them cocktail pools. So I made like a little promo I'll show you here in a second. We got a few hot leads, and we came into some issues with electrical issues, and it just kind of killed the momentum. So we don't really offer it anymore, but my brother did make one at his house. So you'll probably see another stock tank video build on our channel. But here's a little promo I made with some friends after the project was complete to promote what we did. So check it out, and thanks for checking this whole video out.